Hey guys, I want to give Prisma subscriptions a try, and to do this, what I'm going to do is when we click on a number here, it's going to increase the price by 5, kind of like bidding, and you can bid as many times as you want. So it's going to be very simple. You just click, and then I want this to be all the phone clients that are connected to be able to see the price increment as I click the button. So I was going to create like a separate mutation for this, but then I was like, there's really no need to, right? We could just use the update function we already have. So what I'm going to do is make this basically create an on click for the price by creating a touchable opacity. And this is something that comes from React Native. So touchable opacity, and we can just import this from React Native. So touchable opacity. And then down here, we can say on press, we want to do something. So when we press this guy, on press, we would like to increase the price of this, right? So I'm going to say increase it by 5 every time. So to do this, we're going to call a mutation. And we need to know what the item is. So it's alright that I'm creating a function here because we need to pass the item as a parameter. So we're going to have to create a new function one way or another here. So I want to call mutate, or this.props.mutate. But right now we don't have a mutation on this. Well, I guess we have one mutation, deleting a product. We also want to add a update, similar to what we do for the edit product over here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And now for this one, I only really care about one thing, and that's the price changing. So I can get rid of all these other things and just pass the price in. So now I'm going to use the mutation here. So edit graph or edit product mutation. And now you can have multiple mutations added to a component like we're doing here. But notice how this the delete is using the keyword mutate, and this would also be using the keyword mutate to call it. So we need to give it a name, so that way it's not called mutate. So I'm going to say edit product, and we can just say edit product mutate so it's very clear. So then this is what we're going to call in our function here. Alright, and are we getting this from our Are we getting this from our props? And so we can say edit product mutation, or not mutation, mutate is what I called it. And so we're just going to call that down here. There we go. Edit product mutate. And so for the variables, what I'm going to pass in is the ID. So the ID is item.id, and the price is going to be item.price plus 5. And we'll give that a save. So now when I click this, hopefully the price goes up to $18. And oh, interesting, there was a little bit of a delay, and then it did go ahead and update. I was expecting we needed to refresh like that to see the price, so I'm really surprised that it actually updated like that. I don't know why. I don't know if the products query is just like occasionally polling, because it shouldn't be. I'm just going to format this real quick. Okay, so now I want to make it instantaneous. Whenever I click on this, I want to see it update right away. And holy crap, it is. I wonder if subscriptions are like turned on automatically or something. I didn't think they were, because like look how fast that's updating. That's pretty cool if it is. Let's go ahead and add subscriptions and see what changes. So right now we can come over here to our database and we can check out this is our application. So I ran this with npm run dev. We don't have subscriptions set up yet. In our database though, you'll notice we actually do have subscriptions, right? So I can subscribe to products. So I can over here sub. Okay, it doesn't like it. Let's just refresh. There we go. Subscription, and then I'm going to just subscribe to products right now. And I'm going to say where, and I'm going to say, if we click on this, we can see what our options are. What we want to say is mutation in, and then updated. So whenever this is updated, I would like to get the name, so I guess the node, which is the name and the price. So run that. So I think over here we should be able to get any subscriptions that come in. So now when I hit that and it pumps up to 16, we see it pop up over here. And these two are unrelated, right? So that's what subscriptions are going to give us. So we can stop that. So I want to be able to access this. So this is our database, right? So how do I bring this subscription over here to my application? Well, if we come on over here to our schema, I actually like this subscription exactly how it is. So similar how we were able to say query.products connection, I can say subscription.product, right? So this is the outer one. So if we come over here to, how I knew to type that is because it's called subscriptions here. So just kill the S, and then product is the name of it. So now if I hit save and I come back over here and I refresh this, can't be reached. We need to give it a second to restart, and I can pull it up and see. All right, it looks like it finished. Looks like it's still pulling. There we go. So subscriptions is now added to the app. Took a second, but we are there. So nice. So I'm pretty much done with backend. All I needed to add was this because we want to get the exact subscription that's already in the backend. So now with Apollo, to actually add subscriptions, what you do is you first, and here's the little page on it. So we need to install the Apollo link and set up a new link. So we can copy this, and I'm going to come over here to my client, and I'm going to do yarn add Apollo link. And then where we set up Apollo, so in our app.js, oops, not an app, index.js, I mean, we set up an auth link, right? So now we're also going to set up a WebSocket link. So we can copy this, and copy all of that, and paste it in here. So this is going to be our WebSocket link, and then here, the same URL that we use here we can also use for WebSockets, so localhost 4000. But notice the difference, instead of HTTP we put WS in front. We're going to say we want to reconnect, and then here is where we need to change up. This is how you add the split, or add the WebSocket to your HTTP link, because right now we add just this link to our client, but we also need to somehow incorporate the WebSocket link. And as you saw, we're going to be using the split, and that comes from, I think, hopefully our preset has it. I guess it's lowercase split. Yep, lowercase split. And then we can do this. So we can just copy that. So this is going to be the link that we're going to use. And I want to put this below auth link. Okay. So this get main definition we need to import, it looks like too, but here's where we pass our HTTP link, and our HTTP link is this thing here. And then that's our WebSocket link, and now we can just pass our link in here. So the get main definition, where is that coming from? Apollo utilities. Not sure if that comes with our preset. Let's see. We might need to install that. Get main definitions. Okay, that can't come with our Apollo preset too. So now we're good. So the reason why we need to add this split is what this does is it's actually checking whether a query is a subscription or a mutation or query. We broke something. Oh, looks like we also need to install subscriptions transport. So yarn add subscriptions transport, and I'm just going to install the latest one. So this is, we need to know whether to send the request through a WebSocket or through our regular HTTP link. So that's this guy. So that's what this check is doing here. And once that's installed, cool, we can refresh and hopefully we're good to go now. So our request should work the same, but now in our products over here, we can actually write a subscription. And we're not logged in, which makes me think we broke stuff and that maybe we're having trouble connecting. So let's just refresh. At least we're not crashing anymore. Did I set it to the right thing? So HTTP link is on the bottom. So let's take a look at what's going on. So this is our products, and let's just come over here to our check token. So I'm going to console log my token and see if it's there, and then we can also console log any error that we get. Okay, so we have a token, so we should be able to. Here is the problem. Get main definition is not a function. Okay. So it doesn't look like this was able to, or this is not part of this. I was thinking it was. So let's go ahead and install Apollo utilities. So get main definition from, and then Apollo, forget the name. There we go. So I guess this does not come with the preset automatically. And we'll come back over here, yarn add, paste that in. So Apollo and I can just paste it now. So now when this reloads, I'm hoping we should be able, or we should be logged in, and cool, we are. So now what that allows us to do is, now that we set up all this stuff, we have the subscribe to more function that we can call. So what we do is we pass in, and it doesn't show it here, we can pass in our subscription. So in our playground over here, you see how we're able to write that. We want to do the same thing over here. So in my products, I can come up here, and we have queries all over the place. It's probably a good idea to write these in a separate file if you are doing a real project. So we're going to say const subscribe, we'll say products subscription is equal to GQL, and I'll paste it in. Now I would like to get the same fields here as I do over here. That way when I merge them, we don't have any conflicts that we're missing, for example, the ID or something. Alright, cool. So we're good with that. And I think we're just having spacing there. So now we can call subscribe to more, and similar to how we might use like refetch, we have this update query, and that's how we update. We are going to get data from our subscription. So I'll show you that. So over here in our data, we'll have a subscribe to more. And when do I want to subscribe, right? Actually, we want to just subscribe component did mount here. So after we get that and we update the state, we can subscribe to more. So let's do that. So this .props.data.subscribe subscribe to more. And I think it's what our query that we pass in. Let's see what we need. A document is the name. So document is the name of the subscription that we have, which is products subscription. And then here we can copy this update query. And now for now, I'm just going to console.log so we can see what this looks like. And I'm just going to return the data that we had before, so the previous data. And console.log subscription data. So let's give this a save, and let's format this. Unhandled GraphQL subscription error, must return async iterable, received undefined. Alright, looks like our backend is not good to go. It is not set up the right way. So off. I was thinking it would be auto setup, but it looks like we need to actually set it up. I don't know why I went off, but we can come into product. I think how our index is set up here is, yeah, so this is the mutation, the queries. I'm just going to add the subscription here, subscription. So the name of our subscription is product. Yep, product. And inside of product, we're going to say subscribe. And then this is going to be an async function. And it's going to take whatever parameters a regular subscribe function gets. And from this, and I believe it gets what, parent, args, context, and context is the one we care about because then we can get our DB. And let's save that. It doesn't like it. DB, and this is where we can say, I believe it's subscription. I don't think it's subscribe. I want my auto completion. So how do they do it over here? That's how you do it. I need to specify the type. So type, grab the context, and let's copy this, paste it over here. And the utils is not this deep in the folder structure. Okay, so now db.subscription.product, and I can just call that. And it doesn't like it. Let's see what's wrong. Expected arguments, and we can just pass in the info. Alright, so this is me just filling out the subscription. I was hoping kind of like with the query it would do it for me by default, but that's okay. I wonder also if we can use forward to here. Let's see now. So we are able to now actually create the subscription, it looks like. Let's come on over here now and check token. We no longer need these, so let's get rid of them. Don't clutter. Okay, so hello, I click it, and this looks like our data objects. It looks like we got 3 of them. That's really weird. I think subscriptions is like already turned on, it feels like, but we can see it indeed gets called and connected. I think maybe Apollo is auto updating for us is another possible thing. But anyway, what we can do here is now map over, right? So now that we received the product, where were we? We were in component did mount. So now that we have this, we can do data, product, node, and then we can replace this node. So let's grab that. So const node is equal to subscription data and data product node, data.product, and then we're gonna get the node from that, and then what we're gonna do is previous, and I guess let me console log previous. I think previous is gonna be the same as, I think we're gonna do the same update we did over here, like this. I think we're gonna do products connection dot edges and update that. But to make sure, I want to just console log previous and see what that looks like. So plus that, we increment, and yep, page info. It looks like it's exactly how I think it is. So I can do dot 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 prev, and then I can say edges is, oh, and this is all. And actually, you know what, I'm just going to mutate. I was going to create a new one, but I think it'll be easiest if I just say prev.products connection.edges, and then we'll just map over it. Alright, so each one of the map here is a node, so similar to how I did it in the other one, I'm going to check for the ID. So it's going to be x.node.id is equal to node.id. If they're equal, I just pass the node in. Otherwise, we're going to pass in x. And to pass in the node, what I have to do is also give it the cursor, which is going to be the node.id, and then also the type name. And the type name is node. So save that. Let's format that so it's easier to see. And do I just have an error? I don't have an error. I was hoping it's to drop it to another line so it's easier to see. There we go. Okay, so I'm doing a condition here where I'm checking the nodes, and again, I'm replacing the node if it's equal to this, otherwise I'm not. So 26, and like we can't really tell if it's working or not because it was working before. I guess the best way to do this is to open up another emulator and then see if it works. So I guess I could try running this on my phone and seeing if it works, or on my Android device, but this will require some code changes because Android cannot access the server. But this is how you do subscriptions. I'm going to test this using my Android phone and see if this works. And I do successfully get it, but it looks like it's working, but again, it was working before. And I'm curious if you guys know why this works off the bat without even having to add subscriptions. I'm curious to know. I'm guessing Apollo Client auto updates the cache for us for some reason, which is pretty interesting. I haven't seen it do that before, and it wasn't doing that for new product for some reason. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.